A night out in Philly could mean a good drink, maybe some karaoke. But more often than anyone would like to admit, it could also mean a brush with a deadly substance.
There's an issue with fentanyl contamination happening right now.
Jessica runs a TikTok called Party Safer with Jess and is a volunteer for Dance Safe, a national organization that passes out drug test strips at clubs and festivals.
People are doing drugs like cocaine and maybe like MDMA, ketamine, things like that, where they haven't built up a tolerance to opioids. So while the encounters might be less common, one encounter could be enough to kill them.
It's why the owner of this bar, 12 Steps Down in Philadelphia, partnered with a group called FentCheck to keep testing strips at her bar.
What made you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it?
We definitely didn't want to encourage drug use, but at the same time act like it doesn't exist, because ignorance is not going to solve any problems.
Fentanyl overdoses killed more than 71,000 Americans in 2021, more people than fit in this year's Super Bowl stadium. Pennsylvania recently took a step to acknowledge and address this very issue, legalizing drug testing strips, which were previously classified as drug paraphernalia.
Strips with labels.
This is Carla Safransky's office, the trunk of her car.
So that's about 400 strips.
What you were doing today, just now, that was illegal before January of this year.
Before January 3rd, yes.
For Carla, working on getting this bill passed was personal.
What does a drug user look like from your experience on the ground?
Me. What brought me into recovery was heroin use. I have a sister that died at the age of 36. I thought that I would never do anything that she ever did.
She died from substance abuse?
She died from heroin in Philadelphia. She left jail. 2 days later, died in an abandoned house.
Take your time.
You know, over the years, I have over 100 friends that have died. These days, with the drug supply changing constantly with different indulgents, it's a gamble. If they were to go get high, you know, the drugs that I was using 15 years ago no longer exist.
Philadelphia, where Carla's from, had a record number of opioid deaths in 2021. 77% of those lives lost taken by fentanyl. But this isn't just a Philadelphia problem.
Your case in naloxone. We're meeting in Bucks County is because we are handing out supplies for other folks to take back to their counties that do not have access to it.
Opioid overdoses are the leading cause of accidental death in Pennsylvania. The crisis deadlier than car crashes. Now that test strips are legal, the goal is to distribute them from as many places as possible. Like at the Wright Center, a primary care facility serving folks in Lackawanna and Luzerne counties.
People would be able to open this pack, dilute their drugs in a cap full of water, and use this strip to test the actual drug to see if fentanyl did exist in the cap. And it would show if it was positive, there would be a blue line.
Almost like a COVID test. The Wright Center weaves addiction care into its medical practice.
Almost 100% of the deaths are related to fentanyl use, and fentanyl being in the drugs that people are utilizing. It's just as bad in some of the rural counties as it is in some of the inner cities.
It's why experts say the solutions have to be bipartisan. Fentanyl doesn't discriminate based on politics. Representative Struzzi knows that all too well.
Fentanyl doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat, independent, or what have you, what walk of life you come from, how much money you have. It kills arbitrarily. In 2014, I lost my younger brother to an overdose. So from my perspective, it's all about giving someone the opportunity to possibly get in front of a recovery specialist, get into treatment, you know, give themselves one more day to breathe and to live and to have some hope in their life.
For Carla, fentanyl test strips are just the beginning.
There's a generation of children that have no parents. My daughter has a Dead Dad Club. The most important thing about the bill is that we are trying to shift culture change, but we need to keep people alive.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.